Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend. Happy Monday. I hope you took some time this weekend to spend some time safely at home with your families. Just enjoy each other's company. I'm so excited to see the sun today. I have my windows open, my curtains open, letting all that fresh air and sunlight into my apartment. And I can't wait to go for a walk later today. I hope you guys are getting some fresh air as well. I have a multiplication division word problem lesson planned for us today that I'm excited to get started. So I'm going to share my screen and we can get started. All right, so as always, we're going to start off with a few spiral review questions. Go ahead and pause your video and take some time to work through these 3 spiral review questions. Once you've completed them, you may unpause to see the solutions. Go ahead and take some time. All right, so the first one, I'm going to come back to my board. The first one says, find the sum of 5,980 and 3,806. And I know that sum is the answer to an addition problem, so I know that I should add these 2 numbers. Starting in my ones place, 0 plus 6 is 6. Moving to my tens, 8 plus 0 is 8. Moving to my hundreds, 9 plus 8 is 17, and I'm going to carry that 1. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 more is 9, for an answer of 9,786. Give yourself a check if you had that. Good job. Moving on to the next question, which says Maria is 13. Her mom is 3 times as old as she is. How old is Maria's mom? So Maria is 13. Her mom is 3 times as old as she is. So that means I need 3 of those 13 boxes. And when I see the same number repeating multiple times, I know that's multiplication. So I'm going to do 13 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. So we know Maria's mom is 39 years old. Give yourself a check if you had that one correct. And our final question. There are 3 students eating cookies from a plate. Aubrey ate 2/12 of the cookies. So I know there's 12 cookies. So 1, 2, 6, 7. I'm gonna have 12 boxes in my fraction bar, and I'm gonna shade 2 for Aubrey. Camille ate 4/12. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Camille. And Noah ate 1/12. And it asks what fraction of the cookies are left. So if I'm using a picture, I can just look and see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces out of 12 are left. So 5/12 are left. I can also do this not using a picture if that's the way you tried to solve it. And I would add up what Aubrey, Camille, and Noah ate. And I know my whole thing is 1 whole. So I would see that they ate 7/12. So if I know that 1 whole is equal to 12/12 minus the 7/12, I'm going to see that there is also 5/12 left. Either strategy, the picture, or knowing that the whole plate was 1 whole, adding up what they ate and taking away that amount from the whole, will get you the same answer. Give yourself a check if you had 5/12 remaining on the plate. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. we can get started on our application problem for today. We do have a quick warm-up actually. So I want everybody to pause the video and take a second to do these skip countings. And we are going to, I'll model it for you. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. Just the same as multiplying by 7. The second number was 7 times 2 is 14. Third number, 7 times 3 is 21. And I'm doing 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, and skip counting by 9s, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and 90. Just a quick little multiplication skip counting warm up to get you ready for the multiplication you're going to do in today's lesson. All right, reading today's application problem. Tyler planted potatoes, oats, and corn. He planted 23 acres of potatoes. He planted 3 times as many acres of oats as potatoes. And he planted 4 times as many acres of corn as oats. How many acres did Tyler plant with potatoes, oats, and corn in all? Everybody pause your video and take as much time as you need to complete this problem. I am going to stop sharing my screen so that you all can follow along on the board. We see that Tyler planted 23 acres of potatoes. I'm gonna go sentence by sentence. The next sentence said he planted 3 times as many acres of oats as potatoes. So that means I need 3 of the potato sections to equal the oats. And I'm going to actually find this answer by doing 23 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 2 is 6. So he planted 69 acres of oats. Then he's planting 4 times as much corn as oats. So instead of using 23 in the box this time, I'm comparing corn to oats, so I'm going to use the oats amount. So I have 69, 69, 69, and again, those boxes should be the same size. I ran out of space, and we're going to do 69 times 4 because I see 69 4 times to figure out how much corn. 9 times 4 is 36, carry the 3. 4 times 6 is 24, 25, 26, 27, for 276 acres of corn. But the question asks, how many total acres of potatoes, oats, and corn did Tyler plant? So now I need to add up my potato amount, my oats amount, and my corn amount. So I'm going to do 276 plus 69 plus 23. 6 plus 9 is 15, 16, 17, 18, carry the 1. 6 plus 7 is 13, 14, 15, 16. And to finish off, we should have a sentence. So Tyler planted 368 acres. Take a second to look over your work and look over my work. Does it look the same? What could you have done differently? Where did it stop looking the same? What was your mistake? Remember, when we think and talk about our mistakes after every problem, we're less likely to make them again next time we see a similar problem. So go ahead and go through and try to figure out where yours stopped looking like mine, or give yourself a check if you had the answer correct. I'm going to come back to sharing my screen. And we are going to do a quick check-in today, and I'm going to model a few multiplication and division strategies and ways to look at remainders, and then you are going to get a chance to practice a few word problems on your own before you complete the exit ticket, just like we've done in previous lessons. All right, my side of my board got a little messed up. I'll come back to the screen. And our first problem I want to look at is Kirsty bought 12 roses. If she puts 6 in each vase, how many vases will she need? So that's me thinking Kirsty has 12. I need to make 6, 6, 6. I need to make groups of 6. So I'm splitting this 12 up into groups of 6. When I'm splitting things up, I'm dividing. So I'm going to do 12 divided by 6. 6 does not fit into 1. So now I'm asking how many 6s fit into 12? 2 6s. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtracting, get 0. There is no remainder. So Kirsty would need 2 vases if there's 12 flowers and 6 go in a vase. Easy, straightforward. What happens if I change the amount of roses Kirsty has to 13? This time I'm going to solve the division problem of 13 roses split into groups of 6. So I'm going to do 13 divided by 6. 6, 12, it goes in 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. And I have 1 left over. There's nothing to bring down, so I know that that's a remainder. So my answer to this is 2 remainder 1. Does that make sense for how many vases Kirsty will need? No, it doesn't. So we need to think, she bought 13 beautiful roses. She doesn't want to leave any out. So she's going to need an extra vase for this, leftover rose. So Kirsty will need 3 vases. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to have a remainder, and we need to bring the remainder in as another group. This is one of those examples. It didn't make sense to leave out a flower that she spent money on, so we needed to get another vase. It will just be a little bit empty. It will not be a full vase, but she could buy more flowers to put into that vase. She still will need 3 vases in order for all 13 flowers to fit. So as you're doing your work today, keep in mind, is this a problem where a remainder makes sense? Or is this a problem where it doesn't make sense to have a remainder because I can't leave it out? And I'm gonna have to think, what does that do to my answer now? That's very important as you work through today's problems. I also want to take a second to do a couple multiplication reviews. I just want to review the strategies and think about, when we talk about splitting things or making groups, we're talking about dividing. When we're seeing something repeat a whole bunch of times, we're talking about multiplication. So let's just look at the strategy we would use to solve 13 times 26. This is a skill we've worked on a lot this year, but we know we still continue to practice. So first we're going to do the partial products method. I'm going to go 6 times 3. And then I'm going to go 6 times this 1, but this 1 is in the tens place, so it's actually 6 times 10. My third product comes from this 2, but it's a 2 in the tens place, so it's 20 times 3, and then 20 times 10. So I'm going to get 18, 6 times 10 is 60, 20, 40, 60 again, and then this is 200. 8, 13, 3. So I want to make sure everybody's clear on how to multiply 2 two-digit numbers, and this partial product strategy is the one that we found works best for us as a class. Just a second to review that. You will see some like this in your work today, and I want to take a second to review one more multi-digit multiplication. We'll do 3,843 times 7. We're starting with 7 times 3, which is 21. I'm going to drop the 1. I'm going to carry the 2. 7 times 4 is 28. 29, 30. 7 times 8 is 56. 57, 58, 59. And 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 5 is 26. 26,901. Just want to make sure we're taking a second to practice a little bit of multiplication because we might need to do that with our word problems coming up. So again, if you need to rewatch any of that, just go back, rewatch that piece before you jump into your independent practice. I'm going to share my screen again. And we need to work through these independent practice problems. So I want everybody to take a second, pause their video, read through all of these, and take your time. Think about what you need to get level 4 and 5 work. You need pictures if they help, a sentence, and all the work shown to solve the problem. Pay attention to whether this is asking you to multiply, if there's something repeating. Pay attention if this is asking you to divide, and if it's asking you to divide or split into groups. Can you have a remainder, or does a remainder not make sense? Those are the important things to think about. So everybody pause your video and work through these problems at your own pace. All right, so here are your independent practice answers. The first problem, you should have gotten an answer of 6, remainder 3, but you can't just say to those people, sorry, you don't get to go in the van. So you actually need 7 vans in order to fit all of the people. That keyword, all of the people, showed you that it wasn't okay to have a remainder in this problem. Second one, the Hill family used 1,644 liters of water. There are 9 pairs of socks. Pairs are groups of 2. 1 sock does not have a match. And Lonell has 648 marbles that he is using. So give yourself a check for the problems you got right. Go back and rewatch those videos. Think about where was your mistake in any of these, or feel free to reach out if you have a question about where your mistake was in any of these problems. And last but definitely not least is our exit tickets for the day. So we are going to read them out loud, then you will stop and pause your video. So the school newspaper is 7 pages long. Miss Berry needs to print 532 copies. How many total pages will she print? The second one, 53 students are going on a field trip. They're split into groups of 6 students. How many teachers will they need to make sure that all students have a group with a teacher? Go ahead and pause your video. Take as much time as you need. Don't forget to send me a picture of your exit ticket work so that I can give you a grade. Appreciate all your hard work, you guys, and I can't wait to see your exit tickets. Have a wonderful day, and I hope everyone gets a chance to enjoy a little bit of this sunshine safely and far away from people.